12 pounds. That's what food alone weighs in my pack on my last 10-day trip. 12 pounds. Before the shelter, before the sleep system, before the pack itself. And I have met hikers, good hikers, experienced ones, who carry 15 pounds of food for a 5-day trip because they didn't have a system. They had a list, somebody else's list, and they paid for it around day 3. Food is the most personal packing decision you make. It deserves the same treatment as the gear. 5 questions. Answer them honestly and your food system works. In the Rockies, on the coast, or in the deep bush for the rest of your hiking life. I have 1 pot, 1 spoon, and it's all mixed together with corn, peas, carrots, green beans, ground beef, mashed potatoes, and more. 1 bite, everybody knows the rules. Listen, food lists are not worthless. I've made them, I've shared them, but here's what a list can't tell you. Why those items were packed by that person for that trip. It can't tell you their body size, their metabolism, their exertion, their stove setup, or how long they were actually out there. What's going on over here?
Well, this is my food spread for the week, and it's pretty random stuff. It's just like
pretty organized.
what I had lying around. Well, it's organized for the moment, just to show.
Well, you did it on your channel.
Yeah, I did it on my video.
You did a video for your channel. What's
I
that?
don't do this every night. Just bring it out and look at it. I'm like, all right.
What are we getting into?
I'm gonna do good here. I think I'm gonna make it.
What works for my summer loadout in Jasper might be completely wrong for your shoulder season coastal hike. The numbers and the system transfer. The specific items don't. So, those 5 questions. Bacon, cream cheese, mushroom, herbs, and capers. 760 calories, and I need this tonight. That's really good. Wow. Question 1. What is this trip actually asking from your body? Calorie burn in the backcountry is not a fixed number. It's a moving target. Terrain, daily elevation gain, pack weight, ambient temperature, and your own body. Most hikers dramatically underestimate it, and they pay for that around day 3 when everything just feels harder than it should. My baseline is 2,000 to 2,200 calories a day. That is the floor for a mid-intensity trip. Manageable elevation, reasonable weather, nothing too wild. On a high elevation circuit with serious daily gain and some cold nights, that number climbs. My body's burning fuel just to heat itself, not move itself. That's a different equation. Cold increases caloric demand. Sustained steep elevation increases caloric demand. Carrying more weight increases it. These aren't small adjustments. They compound across 5, 7, 10 days. Get this number wrong at the start, and you're digging out of an energy deficit for the rest of the trip. So before you plan a single meal, look hard at the route, the daily mileage, the elevation profile, the expected temperature range. Those data points set your caloric floor. Everything after is a negotiation inside that number. Marcus has 16 days of food, 17 days of food in his backpack. And he originally said, hey, Stu, would you like to do a 16-day trip? And I have to be honest, 16 days with no resupply is sure something I would have loved to have done for the channel. Question 2, and this is your non-negotiable math. How many days are you out there? And don't try to game this with a mid-trip resupply. I know the temptation. Stash some food in a community locker, have someone drop a bag off at the trailhead. It certainly makes your pack lighter for the first half, but there's a caveat, a big caveat. What if the resupply isn't there when you arrive? What if somebody else took it from that communal locker? What if the person dropping it off didn't make it in time? Whew. When I'm on the trail, I don't want to worry about things I can't control. A resupply is a variable I can't control. And what if the route changes? I mean, we've talked about this in the search and rescue framework. Sometimes conditions force a change. You bypass a ford, you navigate around a washout, maybe you turn back entirely. If you've banked on a resupply at a specific point and you can't reach it, you're in trouble. Resupplying is great for thru hikers on well-marked, high-traffic trails. But if you're going into real, remote terrain, carry everything you need on your back for any event. Don't build your plan on a variable that can fail. Do the math before you leave. Know the number of days, Pack for every one of them and at least one extra for emergencies. If we get there tomorrow and we can't do it, we're still okay food-wise and such, planning-wise, to head down the Rocky River toward Rocky Forks, medicine tent and out. Always have a plan B when you're out here in these areas. Question 3, your target weight per day. And I'm going to push back on most hikers the same way I did with pack weight in the last video. Most people pack food they like. Throw in some trail mix, grab a few freeze-dried meals, and carry whatever that adds up to. That's not a system, that is shopping. And it shows up on your back on about day 3. My target, 1.2 to 1.3 pounds per day, and it took me years to get there. It means I know exactly what my food weighs before I touch a single package. Here's how I work it. At 1.3 pounds a day, I'm working with roughly 590 grams of food. I mean, come on. The first time I calculated that, I thought it was the most tedious thing I'd ever done. And then I realized it was actually the single most useful number in my backcountry food planning. High-density foods like nuts, nut butter, hard cheese, salami, your big freeze-dried meals, they all hit that threshold. Foods with a lot of water, they don't. That's not a reason to avoid them. It's a reason to know exactly how much of your daily budget that they're going to take when you bring them. Set the target first, do the math, then shop. The framework does the heavy lifting, so you're not improvising on the trail. Little lunch. These are super good, but very dense. You really need to drink a lot of water with them. Question 4 is my favorite question in any packing conversation. What are your personal non-negotiables? Every experienced backcountry hiker has them. I sure do. Food items that have nothing to do with caloric efficiency and everything to do with the reason you went out there in the first place. Mine's straightforward. Lipton cup of soup. That's it. That's my one indulgence. I've rolled into camp exhausted, thirsty, and cold, and that cup of soup was the exact thing that hit the spot. Worth the little bit of extra weight? I mean, it's not much, but even if it was heavier, without question, every ounce or gram, I'd still take it no matter what it weighed. I can have my cup of soup. I've been thinking about this for a while today. Your non-negotiables are allowed. The rule, the same with his gear, is that you just name them consciously. You own them. You justify them against your weight budget, and then you keep them guilt-free because you made that call on purpose, not because you just threw them in the bag. Last question, number 5. What's your kitchen system? I mean, it sounds simple, but it's really not, because your kitchen system doesn't just affect food weight, it drives your meal selection, your water dependency, your morning and evening routine, and your risk profile when the weather turns. I just basically boil water. That's what I've done on every trip since I can remember. A hot meal at the end of a hard day is not a luxury, it's a recovery tool. My body processes a hot meal differently than something I may have cold soaked. So does my morale. I still run a Pocket Rocket Deluxe with the titanium pot, though a jet boil, the temptation is real. I watch everybody else use it, the temptation is real. But whatever you use, make sure you understand how much fuel it takes to boil your water every day. You have to budget for that too. But here's where hikers go wrong. They choose the kitchen system first, and then they bend the food plan around it. That's backwards. Choose your system based on the trip and what you actually want to eat. Are you gonna cook? Well, make sure your stove simmers at a level that doesn't let the food stick or it burn on the bottom of the pot. You gonna cold soak before you reach camp? Okay. Make sure you've got a pot with a tightly sealing lid. The question isn't simply whether you bring a stove. It's what this specific trip requires from your kitchen. What's the weather exposure? How does the altitude affect boil time and fuel consumption across multiple days? Is it going to be windy? If someone else is on this trip, how does sharing a system change the weight math or the fuel you need? Know the answers before you pack a single meal. The system follows the trip, not the other way around. Scott, what are you doing there?
Getting ready for some popcorn.
Popcorn in your jet boil?
My jet boil, can you believe it?
I can't believe it. What are you putting in there?
Coconut oil.
Coconut oil. Why coconut oil?
Because it's easier to carry because it's solid.
Oh, it's solid.
Unless it's too hot, but most of the time.
Well,
it's
that's
all
not a problem today. By the way, if you want to see this in action, watch my expedition videos. Real trips, real meals, real weight, real boiling water. Where, you know, all kinds of thoughts about, oh my gosh, we might be longer than we should. Did I bring enough food? I talk about it in the expedition videos. Make sure you watch those. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss anything. You can see these in action right here on the channel. Wow. So, the whole framework, fast. Before a single calorie goes in, what's the trip demanding calorically? That's your floor. How many days? And no banking on a resupply that you can't control. That's your container. What's your weight per day? Set the target, work backward, let caloric density carry you there. What are your non-negotiables? Name them, own them, and keep them guilt-free. And what's your kitchen system? Match it to the terrain, not the habit. 5 simple questions, same discipline as the pack framework, just answer them honestly, and your food system works on any trail, in any season, for the rest of your hiking life. Supper time, what do you got tonight?
I've got some chicken parmesan and basil risotto.
Is it good? Mm-hmm. It's 1,000 calories, eh?
Yep.
Amazing. If you're planning a trip this summer and you've started on your food, or maybe you're someone who got burned trusting a resupply that didn't show up and learned that one the hard way, drop your story in the comments. Tell me where you're going. How many days? What are you going to eat? I want to know that your food math is sorted the whole duration before you head out. Someone in this community has probably done your route or had the same dilemma you have. And if they haven't, I likely have, and I'll tell you what the maps won't. As always, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.